bootstrap individualism. Significantly, the very defenders who claim that this nation is meritocratic are often the beneficiaries of a centuries-long Holocaust in which their ancestors seized Indian land and stole Black labor. The struggle to interrupt these narratives have been present throughout this history and in current contexts. In November of 2019, the North Carolina State Board of Education rescinded its approval for an Indigenous-focused charter school designed by Drs. Rosemarie Lowry Townsend, Brenda Dial-Deese, Tiffany Locklear, and Denise Hunt. 4 women who are American Indians and have PhDs and wide experience in a variety of education settings and roles. They designed the school in the spirit of charter school's original intent, which was to redress the failings of mainstream education. In this case, the purpose was to educate Lumbee and other students from an Indigenous-focused curriculum, providing them with dual proficiencies in state-mandated standards while maintaining and preserving Indigenous ways of knowing. The North Carolina Charter Schools Advisory Board rescinded the approval for the Old Mainstream Academy twice. First, on the basis of it not promoting unity, and then on the vague basis that the school was not ready to open. One charter school review board member, Lindalyn Kakadelis, explained her rationale by using a second-hand summation of Quechua scholar Sandy Grand's book, Red Pedagogy. Kakadelis had not read the now classic study of Indigenous ways of knowing and how they differ from Marxist analyses. Nonetheless, she assumed that the book greatly informed the charter school's application and countered the book. I did not find one thing in the book that talked about the greatness of America. Now let me make it perfectly clear. America has sins. There are things I wish we had never done, slavery included, bad marks on our country. But we learned from them, and we're changed, and we're not what we used to be. I've got to say that everything I found was divisive instead of bringing unity. Ironically, Grand's book, while a robust and oft-used text in Indigenous and decolonization studies, was not the basis of the charter school's curriculum. Kakadelis's comments are objectionable because they are inaccurate. But more fundamentally, her comments and the moving line of approval, in essence, reveal what's behind the false narrative propping up this nation, which still delivers punishing material outcomes through settler power relations that seek to erase indigeneity, contain Black peoples for profit, and exploit migrant labor for the purpose of hypermasculine global dominance. Many have spoken Kakadelis's message of unity over division, but it is too often thrown in the laps of those who must give up significant parts of themselves to be part of that unity. In the case of the Old Mainstream Academy in North Carolina, or more accurately in Lumbee territory, for the Lumbee children, their lived realities cannot exist side by side with colonialist narratives, without exposing them as lies. These children might also be expected to assimilate into a U.S. meritocracy that still holds little but violence and erasure for Native peoples. Put more simply, Kakadelis's claim that we have learned from the occasional mistakes, even sins, of the past is patently wrong. On the contrary, her dismissal of Grand's book shows how, without even reading it, the book's existence presented a threat to settler narratives of national advancement. I draw attention to this example because it pulls into focus many of the intersections covered in this book. The ongoing structure and grip of settler colonialism, the myriad ways in which people have resisted it, and the central place of study in the struggle for a more just society. To make this point,